The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
Wednesday morning, you guys. Welcome to Coffee Time. We got Carol in the building. Hey, Miss Carol.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And we got Pedro. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. As y'all can hear it, the more I talk, the more my voice be going.
I know. You got that baritone voice going on. Maybe I could tell you guys that we have Trina's class today. That's jewelry making and arts and craft, knitting and crocheting at 6:00 PlayStation time. So if you're artsy fartsy and you like to knit and crochet and make some jewelry, maybe make you a bracelet, a necklace, maybe a scarf, some gloves, come on, hang out with Trina and Barbara tonight at 6:00.
Yeah. And this is one of our more laid back groups, extracurricular activities, what I would like to call it. So, some jewelry making, some crocheting. You can make a little knitted face mask over here in Los Angeles. You know how it's going right now. But it's one of our groups where you get to lay back, chill, be creative and things like that. So tune into that today. But yeah, Brittany, one of the things I want to get in before we get into these articles, if that's all the that's all the Zoom interest groups, right?
Yeah, that's the only interest group for today. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are listening and you'd like to know more information on how to obtain that schedule, info@blindunited.org, and you can be added to our email list that reminds you, and also in the first beginning of the month, the first day or so, you will get the schedule of the whole month of those interest groups, so you can put them in your calendar and other things like that, all that good stuff. But I wanted to get into something that's happening here locally. If you have been watching the news right now, LA has several wildfires that's brought up in the different locations. I think one is in West LA over there and by Santa Monica, another in San Gabriel Mountain, the Palisades, if I'm not mistaken. This has been on the news. Any opinions, guys? You, Britt, that you live kind of like
Climate
locally?
change is real. We need to do something. California is having a lot of fires. It's crazy. And thoughts and prayers in my heart goes out to all these people that are experiencing this.
Yeah. Carol, have you heard some of that news by any
I
chance?
have. I really have. And it's very, very sad. You're right. I believe it has a lot to do, like what Brittany said, with the climate change. You getting all of these storms, hurricanes, and fires and tornadoes. And I just wanted to ask a question as far as you all being blind, like me here. I actually have talked with 911 agents to let them know that I am blind, so the paramedics know if I ever call and I need help, someone can come and help me. Do you all
Mm,
have a program or something like that there in California? Because
I don't
that's
know.
what I have down here in Dallas, Texas, where I've given them all my
I
information. And with
Yeah, I
me
We
don't
living
know.
alone, I let them know
something.
if I do call that they know, okay, this individual's blind. We need to go and help rescue
Mm-hmm,
her.
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if you
mm-hmm.
all have something like that.
I know, well, I don't know if we have something like that, but I know the Service Center for Independent Life, that's where we have our NFB meetings. So they have They have classes and things, and I know they have a class that's like, if you're disabled or if you have a service animal, what do you do if there's like a fire or a tornado or earthquake or whatever, so, and like they give you like emergency preparedness kits and things like that, and they give you tips on what you should do if you're disabled. But I've never heard of like actually, having it to where if you call 911 that they know that you're disabled. But that would be awesome as a person who's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome.
it's very
Something to,
scary.
yeah, something to look into. And yes, ladies, you are correct. Climate change has been playing a part. I know right now with these fires, it's caused by the wind. Um, and one thing I wanted to bring up was they just made cuts to the fire department. The mayor, Karen Bassett, has made cuts to the department, also to the brush cleanup and brush and bush clearings. Also cut some of that budget. But what I wanted to kind of touch on is, yes, we're having winds and it causes fires, but winds don't spark fires. In my opinion, I believe with these Santa Ana winds and these power lines and these power poles, that sometimes you see them hanging a little to the left, a little too much to the right, and then this wind, the Santa Ana winds pick up, and we have uh literally what 20 up to a 80-mile wind in some areas.
Ooh.
So having that type of wind and having these power lines exposed sparks the fire. In my opinion, I believe this is how it's been started. Honestly, um, we did had a few years back. Up, I know he came on voting for having them underground, and I know I emphasized that in this coffee time show. And I voted yes, on that because it's common sense. We always have these wins, and think about it. It didn't pass, but if it did, putting these lines underground um, would have benefited us. It could have lowered house insurance by, for example. Now we don't have to worry about fires. Now these lines are underground, so now some of the insurance, even fire coverage, can come on down depending on your area. That saves you maybe hundreds in your insurance bill of your home. Um, and I believe we have a problem within our leadership within Los Angeles with our electors that are there. We're a unique city. We're a unique city, meaning we breed millionaires. We have literally millionaires, houses worth millions and millions of dollars here. Um, People were able to be successful in Los Angeles and come with those homes. But why are Los Angeles still struggling when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to the fire department, when it comes to brush clear up? This is our home. It's like actually getting our home done outside, doing our yard work. And I
I
believe,
think, Pedro, it's hard because Los Angeles County is huge. It's literally from Pomona all the way
hmm,
to like Magic Mountain. I mean, Los Angeles County covers a real. I don't think people realize how big
yes.
Los Angeles is. And like, you're right. We do need to run it better. We do need to pick our leaders better, and we need to hold these people accountable. But we do have some comments. God First said, "Good morning, Carol." So, good morning, Miss God First. And Katie Taylor from Oregon NFB said fires can be good and bad, and we agree with that. So, yeah.
Yes, this is correct. There's controlled fires. Firemen do this to control vegetation and also make a fire line when it comes to fires and stuff. So yes, there you can use them for good and clear a brush. But yes, it goes back to the funding, and I think too much millionaires in our politics, too much billionaires and millionaires, you know. We believe because I think the appearance of that person was successful over there, they could be successful in public service. But sometimes people have a business in mind, not a public service mind. You
But
know,
why are they cutting funding? That's horrible. I mean, you all need it, and I'm just not understanding why they're cutting the funding for these departments that you need the most with all the fires that you're having. Is
yeah, I
that
think
something that you all vote for, or is that just something that they have in the initiative packet of what they have set up for, I guess, whatever's out there for your state?
well, Miss Basson has cut some of that, the mayor's
Oh,
office
the
and other.
mayor.
Yeah, yeah. I know that our governor just had a zero spending balance, meaning we didn't actually spend money. Now we're able to slightly earn money. I gotta review. That's a good article to bring in. But yes, I believe that uh, when when you don't fund these public programs, especially like the fire department is a socialist type program, it's a social type program. Socialist meaning we all benefit from the fire department. We depend on them to save our lives, to be the first one in line to for these fires and all that stuff. And cutting up funding does negative effects, and I believe we may need new provisions, and we did pass new type of bills intending to cut back in in what you call that, like fraud and crime and mishandling of money within our city offices, because they've been caught in different scandals of bribery and other things like that. So I think there was in this voting block there was a provision passed on that. I forgot prop something, but it was to get some of this stuff in control, under control.
Right, right. I got you.
hmm So we have the
Hey,
first
coffee.
article we got going is.
Wait, before we do that,
hmm
I have another comment. Katie Taylor said that she loved the Cooking Without Looking group yesterday. So that's one of our more popular groups. They make a different recipe every month, you guys. So Cooking Without Looking, definitely check that out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we're gonna get powering the future, the energy efficient and automacy technology. Let's check that out.
Today on Coffee Time, powering the future, energy efficiency and autonomous systems. As autonomous systems like industrial robots, drones, self-driving cars, and AI algorithms become increasingly integral to our lives, reducing their energy consumption is crucial for achieving efficiency and sustainability. Let's explore innovative strategies that industries are adopting to optimize the energy use of these systems while maintaining performance and reliability. 1. Advanced programming and trajectory optimization. One of the most effective ways to reduce energy consumption is by enhancing how autonomous systems move and operate. Optimized movements, advanced programming techniques minimize unnecessary motions, cutting down on power usage. By fine-tuning speed, acceleration, and movement paths, robots can perform tasks more efficiently. Dynamic time scaling. Adjusting the timing of movements allows systems to conserve energy by adapting their operations based on real-time demands. 2. Energy-efficient hardware design. Hardware innovations play a vital role in conserving energy. Low-power components, utilizing ultra-low energy microcontrollers, such as the EFM32, ensures that autonomous systems operate efficiently without draining power resources. Solid-state batteries. These next-generation batteries provide improved energy density and longer operational times, making them ideal for applications in drones and self-driving vehicles. 3. Software optimization and AI model efficiency. Software-driven enhancements are transforming how autonomous systems use energy. Lightweight AI models, smaller, task-specific AI models, such as liquid neural networks, are designed for efficiency, dynamically adjusting their parameters in real time to conserve energy. Context-aware sensor fusion. Approaches like Karma enable autonomous systems to adapt their sensor usage based on environmental conditions, ensuring that power is only used when necessary. 4. Path planning and motion control. Efficient navigation and decision-making are key to reducing energy consumption. Energy-aware path planning. By optimizing navigation routes, mobile robots can conserve energy while maintaining productivity. Multi-objective decision-making. Autonomous vehicles can balance energy efficiency with other performance metrics, like safety and speed, by employing sophisticated decision-making frameworks. 5. Sustainable AI practices. Reducing the environmental impact of AI-driven systems requires a comprehensive approach. Efficient data centers. Running AI workloads in energy-efficient facilities powered by renewable energy can significantly reduce their carbon footprint. Full-stack energy optimization. By improving every layer of the AI stack, from hardware to algorithms, industries can achieve substantial reductions in energy usage. The road ahead towards sustainable autonomy. Implementing these energy-saving strategies across industries can lead to more sustainable, cost-effective, and environmentally friendly autonomous systems. Whether it's optimizing a robot's movements, utilizing next-gen batteries, or running AI in energy-efficient data centers, these advancements are paving the way for a greener future in automation. What are your thoughts on these innovations? Do you think they'll revolutionize the way we power autonomous systems? Let's dive into the discussion. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their insights.
All right, guys, and we're back. Um, yeah, so this type of technology, I believe, it's gonna revolutionize different sectors in our everyday lives. Meaning, with these new type of battery advancements and drones, we can actually have drones getting close to fight fires. Instead of putting a firefighter's life in jeopardy, they be operating drones, a group of drones putting out the fires from different directions and things like that. Even drones in repairing like the street lights and power lines instead of a human risking their life. So it can be really really great for our for the future, with the solid state batteries too. They're coming to the market and having software that is able um to use less battery depending on the task it's doing. It's a plus. Our phone uses some type of technology like that to extend your battery health also in our Apple iPhones and Androids. So this could be a real great thing for different sectors in society. Any opinions, ladies?
I I mean, technology is amazing, and I can't wait for whatever's going to happen in the future. Like, literally, all this is amazing. I just hope that we have the minds and the ability to, utilize all this stuff. But Tisha said good morning. So, good morning, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha. Thank you for the comments, Brit too. And we'll be cutting to a quick break, and we'll be back, guys.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, custom cane has it.
Yes, guys, yes. So if you're looking for an accessory for your cane or you're looking for a cane, custom canes is your spot. If you need a light, if you need a cane holder, if whatever you may need, an ID cane, a indestructible cane, custom canes with a K. That's customs with a K. So, guys, we have another article in place, and this is about the Consumer Financial um, Protection Bureau. So let's take a listen because this is a very important thing to be watching. You know, the Consumer Department actually pays us back from these corporations that do foul moves. They put back money in our pockets, and I mean billions of dollars. So let's check that out.
Today on Coffee Time, the future of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, established in 2010 under the Dodd-Frank Act, is a cornerstone of consumer financial protection in the United States. Its mission to ensure fairness, transparency, and competition in financial markets has profoundly impacted how financial products are offered and regulated. However, with the recent presidential election, the CFPB faces potential shifts in its structure and priorities, raising questions about its future role. Understanding the CFPB's role. Consumer protection. The CFPB safeguards consumers from predatory practices, ensuring that financial products like mortgages, credit cards, and loans are fair and transparent. Enforcement impact. Since its inception, the Bureau has secured over $20 billion in relief for consumers through enforcement actions against companies violating financial laws. Education and empowerment. The CFPB offers resources and tools to help consumers make informed decisions, promoting financial literacy and empowerment. What's next for the CFPB? As of January 2025, the CFPB is at a critical juncture, with the incoming administration signaling potential changes. Key areas of potential change. Leadership shifts. A new director appointed by President-elect Donald Trump could steer the Bureau in a different direction, influencing priorities and enforcement strategies. Regulatory rollbacks. Proposed modifications or repeals of existing CFPB regulations could reshape how financial institutions comply with consumer protection laws. Structural reforms. Discussions about reducing the Bureau's authority or restructuring it entirely may limit its ability to enforce consumer financial protections effectively. Implications of these changes. For consumers. Reduced oversight, potential deregulation could increase the risk of unfair or deceptive practices in financial markets. Access to resources. Changes in focus might affect the availability of consumer education tools and resources. For financial institutions. Compliance burdens. Regulatory adjustments could ease compliance requirements, but may also create uncertainty during the transition period. Market dynamics. A more lenient regulatory environment might lead to increased competition, but could also expose consumers to greater risks. For advocacy groups. Consumer advocacy organizations are raising concerns about potential rollbacks, emphasizing the CFPB's role in protecting vulnerable populations from financial exploitation. A pivotal moment. The future of the CFPB will be a topic of significant debate as policymakers, industry leaders, and advocacy groups weigh its role in balancing consumer protection with fostering economic growth. What are your thoughts on the CFPB's future? Should it maintain its current focus, or is a structural reform needed to better serve consumers and businesses? Let's discuss. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their insights.
All right, all right. Any opinions, ladies? Any before I start going on a rant?
You can rant, but before you rant, Katie also commented that AI is going to become a part of life and that we need to make sure that AI is accessible for blind people. And I agree. I mean, I use AI all the time, so definitely we're going to
Yes,
definitely
yes.
keep that.
I agree. I agree. She's right. Um, Now they're working on things that you could probably even install in your computer as an AI, like through Llama and your back and in your computer, and only run it on your computer and won't connect to the internet. I believe this could be a great move for like having an AI in your work computer and a company not worrying about you going online. But yeah, talking about the CFPP, yes, it's a pivotal moment. Nina Khan was in the leadership role right there. She was the head of that department. Um, a good pick by Joe Biden, if I do say so myself. There's things I don't agree with Joe Biden that he has done, but that's one of them that I do agree on. Nina Khan is popular with our young crowd, with our
No,
18,
she is,
20.
but isn't Trump getting rid of her? From my understanding.
Yes, yes, he is. And people were saying the Democrats really haven't said nothing about Nina Khan. They might get rid of her. Well, JD Vance said he likes Nina Khan, so I don't believe he's gonna get rid of her. Guys, we had his first term already, Trump's first term, and we saw how that went with the payday payday predatory loans. He
Right.
wrote back those protections on those payday loans that get people stuck, paying them and paying them, and with these fees that they put on these loans. Um, so in 2016, he got a donation from those companies and corporations, and he wrote back those those provisions and conditions and guidelines for those type of loans because they were predatory and people were getting stuck paying. So I don't know why people thought this was going to be different. Nina Khan is popular with our younger crowd, even with our millennials and other things like that. She has prevented certain mergers from not happening that I believe um, better suits us as the customer. As the article stated, they bring us $20 billion back to our pockets. Um, I don't like to get too much in our politics in that type of role, but when you see that a incoming administration is stacking its billionaires together and only putting billionaires, who you think those billionaires got those billions from? Corporations that they work for, corporations that they advise, whatever it may be, corporations that they run, you know.
Well,
Um,
like I say all the time, I've said it time and time. Corporate greed is the American dream, but we're just living in a nightmare. So they're the ones that are succeeding, and we're the ones just trying to catch up.
yes, and this goes into different sectors because we got billionaires and hedge funds buying blocks of homes, killing the American dream, stomping
Hmm.
on the American dream. Just like I said, they come to the land of opportunity. Um, for example, Elon Musk, his brother said and stated, I quote, "We were in this country illegally when we came here." And now look at Elon Musk. He has obtained wealth in the country of opportunity. But when you are in that position and you're trying to slash social programs, social net programs, and you're calling out that we're spending too much in our education, and you're calling out that we're spending too much on medication, medical, or we spending too much on Social Security when Social Security by law is not governed by a budget. If he wants to know more about our politics and our system, he needs to be more aware, do some reading, stop just talking because He believes Social Security is funded through our budget and are increasing our debt ceiling, but it's not. Okay, by law, it's not. Um, Katie Porter, she actually had a great short. She was on the floor and she was letting them know how Social Security is run. But to have a billionaire, robber baron, welfare queen telling us that we can't have Social Security, that they want to cut it, that we can't have Medi-Cal, they want to cut it. It's backwards thinking. It's backwards thinking. It's not helping us as a society, guys. Some programs have to be a social a social program. And Social Security is one of them. But back to the CFPB, um, this goes with credit cards. There's been people where the credit card has says, "Hey, sign up, $10, $20 a month, and you have a credit protection." Guess what? A lot of these companies, these credit card companies, did not have credit card protection. They was just saying it and charging people on their credit cards, and people were paying these fees. Okay, now the CFPB went and looked at all this and got a settlement and and it got people's money back. Although it took a few years, but people got 400, 500, six to $1,000 checks in the mail. So government funded like the CFPB is needed. The leadership role is very, very important. If you put someone that is there for the people, that is there to keep these corporations in check, they will be in check. But if you put somebody that is like a billionaire, likes corporations, or works for a corporation, or is a lobbyist, you know what their plan is. The plan is to go and gut it. For what? For the benefit of the corporations. So it's like a game they play. I know we have young folks that might be listening. If you're interested in politics, it doesn't take too much to run, to get your head on it, and actually do something and have local change. But these departments are important, just like our education department. We want to breed the next generation of workers, entrepreneurs, the next generation of inventors. We need to For that to happen, we need to increase our education spending, bring our education department to the 21st century, our firefighters to the 21st century with these drones. I know it can cost money, but there should be some provisions that these multi-billion dollar companies that have these multi-billion, and I mean hundreds of billions, CEOs and owners that made their money in our country of America, the land of opportunity. And I believe they should be more proud and willing to conserve that type of life and way, and want to give back to society, to their workers, to the home that let them gain those billions and billions of dollars. Another way we can actually benefit from that is put a $50 billion cap. Any dollar after that, you need to it goes into government. And government meaning it needs to be for programs that will benefit society in public, for the fire department, our electric grid, our security infrastructure, that we got ransomware happening all over the place. We need to have money to invest in these type of technologies, including for our education. And a way can be $15 billion cap. After that, every dollar goes into the government, into special programs for the future. Otherwise, guys, we're falling behind. China has a first bullet train. They have bullet train that goes 200-300 miles. They just unveiled a new one, a new model, lighter, faster, wind resistant, and all that. I know we had since the '90s plans for bullet trains around here, and where they at? I know we have the Amtrak system and we do have a good system, but our infrastructure is in the 21st century and has not improved to the 21st century. And a program like that takes combination of all states and a federal funded plan. A federal because it's across state lines, and I can emphasize that a lot. So these departments are needed. The FPB does a great service, keeps credit cards, payday loans, and other corporations in check and gives us back money in our pocket, money that we need, money that we spend on groceries and gas and bills. You
And we
know?
do need something like that. I mean, the more that someone fights for that, the better we'll be as a society. Because you're right, these billion-dollar corporations are not invested in just the average day individuals just trying to make a living.
Yes, yes, and I'm not against no capitalism. Capitalism is something that helped us build here, but I do believe we need democratic socialism, socialist. For example, something like what Bernie is talking about, and when he means democratic socialism, it means when it comes to these social programs that are for everybody, like Social Security, the police department, even though they're well funded, but they might, even the fire department. We need a crisis hotline where they could go speak to some of these individuals or these young individuals that might need some mental guidance because they feel like they want to go and cause great damage to schools. You know what I mean? We have a crisis in our hands with our youth having mental problems and issues. So
Right.
we need to rethink the whole game, guys. Yes, we went through the 20th century. Now we're in the 21st. It's going to continue with innovation and new type of ideas. You know, um, I know I'll be talking passionate about politics. Um, but I don't know. I have great ideas for politics, but running is a whole other thing. But I believe that even in the left and the right, popular issues can be passed. And one of the popular issues, it is Medicare for all. I know people say how we're gonna pay for it. There's been plans put out there, um, and things like that, but it needs to be covered. We're the only country that does not cover that. On the top six, seventh countries that are the first world developed countries, they all cover healthcare. The number one issue that we have in the country of bankruptcy is medical debt. You know, why am I losing my house, be, become indebted to the system because I got sick? I got some type of cancer or something. I've been healthy all my life. I've been exercising. I've been dieting, but somehow I'm still getting sick. Guys, we do have the A ladies in our house, meaning the smart devices. We all get those notifications. Air quality is bad outside. Try to stay inside. Guys, there's corporations mining, oil drilling, things seeping out. There's so much things going on and they're making so much money off of that. Where is the social program that keeps our air clean, the social program that gets way more funding because it benefits everybody. It benefits the rich and the poor, like the fire department benefits everybody in that lives in that area and things like that. So certain programs need to be thought as social programs. I know people when they hear socialism, they hear, "Ooh, socialism. That's a bad word to say. Don't say that. We don't have no successful examples on that." And the beginning of socialism is the beginning of communism, but it,
I
it
think
doesn't go
that in
like
this
that.
country, we need to give everybody a dictionary because I don't think people understand the definition of socialism. I don't think they understand the definition of a democracy or anything like that. I really don't think if people knew what it entailed, if they would really be okay. You know what I mean? I just like, there's no reason why we don't have universal health care. Europe has it, Canada has it. Why do we not have it?
I know. It's mind-boggling, but I believe that some of the terminology they use and the way they frame it, they make it seem like having Medicare for all is a weird idea. Like, oh, that's kind of weird, But no, you go to England, you go to France, you go to Canada, you go to these top five developed countries, they all have some type of Medicare for all, even if it's a single payer or a multi-payer system. They all have it. The odd ones in the ball game is us. We're the weird ones without having our healthcare paid for. They did a video I watched on YouTube. They were asking people in England how much you think is how much it costs to have birth in America. Somebody said, oh, $1,500. Different people. They was like, oh, it costs around 10, 20 grand. They were like, what? They were like, they were surprised. Some people were like, oh, some people were super shocked on our pricing of our Medicare system. So think about that, man. I don't believe grandma should be going broke because she got sick and now she can't pay her house, or they won't give her Medicaid or Medicare because she owns a house. They'd
Right.
rather say, well, sell your house, become homeless, and then we help you. Well, after you spend all that money that you got from your house, well, you might still owe us still more money. You still might have to file bankruptcy and things like that. It is
It's
it is
crazy.
sad. It is sad
Hmm.
that we're still living like that. So think about it, guys. We are in the future, but in that case, I will be cutting to a quick break. When we come
Wait,
back,
we
we'll
got
check
two
comments.
comments. Wait,
Okay, go
well,
ahead.
okay.
Go ahead,
All right.
Britt. Go
Well,
ahead.
Katie said that the rich should fund the systems that made them rich, like education and social security, and I agree, Katie. Like the rich should definitely pay their fair share in taxes. And she also said that we need to focus on our debt and not use credit. That's Americans, and I agree, but credit is the American dream,
It
Well,
is.
or the
but
American nightmare.
Right.
and at that point, we will be back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. Did you know that people in third world countries do not have access to canes? The You Can Give initiative gives canes to people all over the world who cannot get canes. The You Can Give initiative not only goes to these countries and gives people canes, but they give people canes and a digital recorder that is solar powered, that has instructions on how to use the cane and instructions on how to repair the cane. The You Can Give initiative is a very worthy cause, giving canes to blind people all over the world. If you have a cane that you're no longer using, or a cane that's broken or bent, you can go to youcangive.org and get a shipping label, and you can ship your cane to Jimmy in Tennessee, and he will refurbish it and give your cane to a blind person in a third world country. That website again is youcangive.org.
Yep, guys. Yep. That's youcangive.org. Also, that's a partner of customcanes.com. That's custom with a K. This Cane initiative is something that Blind United as a whole believes in. We believe in putting a cane in someone's hands that need it. Give them that freedom. Give them uh, um, that extra boost so they could get around. I know when I grab my cane, I put it in my hand. I feel empowered. I feel independent. I feel I'm ready to go. I don't have to walk slow, try to feel with my feet, or get a broom and look crazy. So, guys, remember once again that's youcangive.org. You could get a shipping label and ship your cane out for free to Jimmy, and he will put it out there and put it in a child's or an adult that does not have a cane. Um, yeah, for like one of our commenters, just to recap, we were talking about billionaires and how they need to contribute. The comment was saying, that's where I was talking about putting a cap on earnings after $50 billion or even $25 billion. You know, and to put some of that in perspective, 1 million seconds is 11 days. 1 billion seconds is 32 years. So equate that with money, that how much distance $1 billion is from $1 million is from $1 billion. So I think a 25 billion income cap should be in place. We have to remember that we need to fund the future, have new innovative ideas. I know yesterday I talked about the first Bitcoin city that's happening in El Salvador. I know earlier I was talking about the bullet trains that the infrastructure China is working on, and we have other innovations that other countries are doing. What project are we doing in our homeland? What innovations are we working on? Um, so on the next article, it's the latest on the drone sightings in the northeast of the U.S. And guys, what about this new type of technology that we could tap into? Let's take a listen. Let's take a quick listen.
Today on Coffee Time, drone sightings spark concerns across the Northeast. Recent weeks have seen an unusual rise in drone sightings across New Jersey and New York, capturing the attention of residents, authorities, and experts alike. The sudden increase in activity has triggered investigations by federal agencies to assess the situation and address public concerns. The rise in drone sightings. Increased reports. Since mid-November 2024, numerous drone sightings have been reported, particularly in New Jersey's Morris County. Witnesses describe some drones as large as 6 feet in diameter, frequently observed between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. Wide-scale investigations. The FBI has received over 5,000 tips, with about 100 leads currently under active investigation. In response, advanced detection systems and trained observers have been deployed to the region. Federal and regulatory response. Assessing threats. Despite public speculation, federal authorities, including the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, DHS, and Department of Defense, DoD, have stated that the drones do not currently pose a threat to national security or public safety. Temporary restrictions. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has introduced temporary flight restrictions in select areas to manage the situation and ensure airspace safety. Community reaction. Public concern. The drone activity has sparked significant public interest and concern. Media personality Bethany Frankel took to social media to highlight the sightings, playfully referring to the drones as Dior bags to bypass content moderation algorithms. Expert recommendations. Advocates for stricter regulations suggest enhancing drone detection systems and clarifying operational rules to address the challenges posed by unidentified aerial devices. Improved coordination between agencies is seen as essential to maintaining airspace security. The path forward. As investigations continue, federal agencies are working with state and local officials to uncover the origins and operators of these drones. Authorities encourage the public to report any suspicious drone activity to local law enforcement or the FBI, emphasizing that community cooperation is critical in ensuring airspace safety. This surge in drone activity highlights the complexities of managing increasingly accessible drone technology. What do you think about the role of drones in modern airspace, and how should authorities balance innovation with safety? Now, back to the coffee time crew for their thoughts.
Okay, guys. Okay. Several thoughts there. Several thoughts. Even me in my skeptical mind, I have several other thoughts too. But let's begin with yes, they're saying that local and federal officials are working together, and I believe so. They are. Um, One of the things that they was talking about is airspace and monitoring the airspace. But let's talk a little bit about the drones and the technology that they're using. If they're just flying around, and I don't know if they're doing surveillance, there's privacy concerns there. I don't know the type of instruments they have to gather data or what they have, but the way they're talking about how they could fly and be stationary for a long time. Um, I think this technology can be useful. In the beginning of the hour, we were talking about drones and using them for emergencies, like for wildfires and other uh, climate disasters that happen. Um, this technology can be useful. I don't know if they have made an attempt to capture one. If it was myself, I would have been try to get a plan to capture one if I was in the government and things like that. But if it's a new technology that a corporation, company, or business is using or testing, I will believe there would have been things out in the news. Or, or if less, they're using it for marketing and getting publicity like that. Free marketing could go a long way. Marketing costs money. But yes, I could understand the public concerns. And another thing in my conspiratorial mind is that come on, you think the government is gonna let things fly and private airspace or restricted airspace? They have to have some type of technology or something to combat that. I don't think they will let that type of technology slide unless let's take it, let's put a tinfoil hat on. What about they're causing this little panic with this type of technology, government owned, just so they can put more strict regulations on public airspace? Meaning, if you had your little 10-inch, 12-inch drone, now you're under these new guidelines and laws and provisions and maybe permits that you need to buy and money they're going to generate. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. It could be all kinds of other things. But if we follow in the sense of making money, if you can set up uh, public airspace and say now you need a license or a permit, and the permit costs this much, $50, you know, or 100, depending, you know, there's money generating there, you know, that could be a plan. Who knows? I'm just saying, but these new drones, size of vans, guys, could be new transportation. I don't know. Any opinions, ladies? Britt, Carol?
I mean, we have drones here that deliver packages from Walmart, but you might have a next door neighbor that just kid has just got one for Christmas and is flying it in the backyard. So I understand them kind of restricting airspace. True enough, this is just my opinion only, but I'm just wondering, like the ones where you had played a story earlier. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or what have you, where all of these places were saying they're spotting these big, huge drones. So I mean, if it's gonna benefit us, yes, but like you say, if we need to pay for a permit or this or that. I mean, I think it would help us futuristically, but I really don't know any more to say other than that.
Yeah, well, I believe privacy is a big concern. Let's say these drones have optical cameras and have other sensors like LiDAR and radar, uh,
Hmm.
even infrared. There should be some concerns on privacy, meaning, let's say here, I'm a drone and I go to your house, Carol. Okay, now I got all these instruments on, meaning I'm reaching your porch. I have infrared, meaning I could see your body heat if you're how many people are in your house. If there's radar, I just mapped out your whole yard. I just mapped out with LiDAR, also your steps and everything like that. If my optical camera is running, I just recorded everything, colors, windows, drapes, everything.
Right.
So, are we willing to give them permission to run that 24/7, 365 view when they hit our property?
Oh,
Or,
no. Mm-mm.
or can we have smart people in our government? And this is what I mean. Our government is slow and acting. So let's think about it. Let's say now the provision was you can have a minute of optical camera, meaning camera lighting that everybody could see. Meaning, if I placed a package there, I want a 30-second minute or a minute before and a minute after. Meaning, I verify that I put the package there. Once that is done, or just a photo, or maybe just a photo, couple photos, and then the optical camera shuts off. Now,
Gotcha.
now the infrared could have been for nighttime, but they might not even need it. Radar, yes, they're gonna need it at least be like, okay, instead of mapping 40 yards or mapping 40 feet, 60 feet, 100 feet, you only allowed to map 20 feet, meaning porch area, and including LiDAR. So now with these provisions, wouldn't you feel safer and more private that they're only allowed to capture picture or or a 1 minute video about your package or whatever got delivered, and they only have a 20-foot span, a square foot, to capture at least to understand how to deliver the package on your porch
Gotcha.
instead of having 365 view, all instruments on at all times. I think that's a violation of privacy. I think we can do it like the way I was just saying it and be more private about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
But
agree. I agree with you, Pedro. It makes more sense to me now that you kind of said it like that because you just really don't even think about your security of what the navigator of these drones are actually up to. So it makes a whole lot of sense.
yes, it makes sense
W-
to do provisions, but to start saying you need a license or you need a permit to fly this, now you might be cutting into innovation or people
Right.
trying to do some content, try to do a living or whatever they might be doing, you know?
You're right. Well, I think even with our iPhones and the A lady, the Z or the E, that our privacy is being listened to anyway inside our own homes. But that's another
Hmm.
story for another day, I guess.
Yeah, so it's what I'm trying to get at on this episode. We are able to tackle these problems in a new type of way of thinking. I know my way of thinking might not be your type of way of thinking, guys that are listening, or Carol, but you know, I think about these things and I think about how can we put them to use and fix these things, or make them more private, like I just laid out the instruments and the guidelines for those instruments on these delivery drones or these drones flying around. It makes more sense to run a delivery drone like that, the way I explained it with limitations of instrumentation, than a drone that is free and able to just record 365 view and able to just run their instruments at full power, full capacity, and just save that data. What about the data that's been saved at that server that just mapped out your whole house? Your
Right.
outside of your house. What about that data? We didn't even got into that data, guys. And look, if I'm able to come out with ideas like that, our politicians should be able to think the way I think and come out with solutions because they have teams and teams of people working for them. What is their excuse? I know it's a body of people that you need to work together, but come on, what's their excuse? Any last words, ladies, before we end the show?
No, I don't think I spoke to any of the commenters. So just thank everybody for listening, and I
Okay,
guess
all
we'll
right,
do it
and
again tomorrow.
stay warm, guys. Take your cup of coffee, tea, whatever it may be. If you're out in LA, be careful with the air out there. It was smelling like ash. And if you're by those fires, be careful. And if you had to evacuate, I hope you're somewhere warm. I hope that you didn't lost your home. I hope everything's been fine. I believe these power lines is the issue and cause. I just haven't heard it in the news. They don't want to really talk about it, but I believe these power lines should be underground, especially in windy areas. But in that note, that's a more conversation we could get in depth into another podcast. But guys, from me to you, happy Wednesday. Hump the ones you love. And from Blind United, stay safe.